and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program, we'll be speaking with Lauren Rexford from Quincy Community Action Programs, all about their fuel assistance program. First, though, as always, we do check weather and news for you. Currently in Quincy, brilliant sunshine. It is brisk, 48 degrees. That about as warm as it's going to get today, too. And the breeze will have a bit of a bite to it, blowing those leaves around. A chilly night coming up tonight. Clear skies, lows drop off below freezing, I believe, this evening. Not a bad weekend. I think tomorrow is the better of the 2 days with a mix of sun and clouds. Chilly, highs in the upper 40s. Looks like some afternoon rain moving in on Sunday, the high in the mid 50s, and some morning rain on Monday, maybe some showers lingering. Kind of mild, though, on Monday with highs in the upper 50s. Again, we have partly sunny skies, 48 degrees in Quincy right now. In the news today, Quincy public school officials say that they are working to address concerns about racism in the schools after that recent online video prompted a student walkout. Now, the video contained racist hate speech from one student to another and was shared on social media. Public forums were held and counselors and facilitators were all brought in to prompt a discussion. Quincy City Council President Nina Liang says the issue proves that Quincy needs a separate Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion that was approved by the City Council but rejected by Mayor Thomas Koch.
It doesn't mean that I'm an expert on any of this, right? It doesn't mean that I have, that one singular answer that's going to solve all these problems. And I don't think anyone does, right? But it is important to look and say, okay, well, when we now have a social justice and equity person or department who's educated in these kinds of matters, who is skilled in these kinds of matters and can give us the tools that we need, that I need, right, to properly address this and move forward in the best way possible. And right now, because there isn't that, right, I feel like there is this sort of vacuum and we're all trying to figure out the best way possible to respond. I mean, again, I think regardless of where folks stand on this issue, collectively, again, as different bodies of government here in the city, we want the best for these kids. We want them to feel safe. We want them to feel comfortable enough in their environment, particularly at school, right, where they can be best equipped to get the most out of their education here.
Mayor said he believed the school administration has responded properly to the issue. Superintendent Kevin Mulvey said the schools will do everything possible to create a welcoming educational environment. Massachusetts is in line to receive at least $9 billion from the recently approved $1.2 trillion federal infrastructure law. And Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch wants to make sure the city gets its fair share.
Perhaps create a few people full-time just working on this. This could mean tens of millions of dollars to Quincy on our infrastructure challenges. I mean, how it gets baked, we're still not 100% sure whether it's. We know clearly that water and sewer lines are in there, but, our seawalls, our parking garages, clearly roads will be, bridges will be, but, will there be money in there for buildings? Well, there's a lot of categories under the terminology of infrastructure. So we're still trying to determine and waiting a little bit for guidance from the federal government exactly how we can spend it. But we'll be prepared to certainly avail ourselves for every dollar, because as we're reading it, it's not all formula. It's going to be competitive grants in some cases. So we want to make sure we have a seat at the table and having the right, qualified people to be at the table to seeking these funds to help us rebuild our infrastructure. So it's going to be a process for sure.
Mayor said he may hire some full-time personnel just to handle the federal funds that will be coming into the city. Short-term rentals will not be allowed in residential neighborhoods in Quincy. This past week, the City Council approved a measure that prohibits short-term rentals from online platforms such as Airbnb and VRBO from operating in areas that are zoned residential A. Ward 5 City Councilor Chuck Phelan said those short-term rentals cause noise, traffic, and other disruptions in small residential areas of the city.
People coming in, buying these houses, setting them up as businesses, not setting them up as residential housing. And these streets are not made for it. I've got one Airbnb on one street, and I'm not trying to single out Airbnb. Verbo, there's a lot of them. but just lots of problems with it. It's been used for they have 3 different levels, and it's a single family home. Several cars are showing up. These streets are just not made to put adequate parking in. So for that reason, that's one of the reasons I brought it in back when I saw it. And I went back around door to door again this last time and had a chance to talk to a lot of people that are fully in agreement and want to see this happen. And I think it's also an affordable housing issue. They drive up the cost, go in, pay for things, drive up the cost of the housing.
Ward 4 Councillor Brian Palmucci voted against the ban. He said he was concerned that it would negatively impact residents who use the income from short-term rentals to pay for their housing costs. Foxrock Properties of Quincy has revised their plans to redevelop the former Ross parking garage location in Quincy Center. In the latest version, Foxrock has eliminated plans for a 20-story building with 200 apartments and 125 hotel rooms. Mayor Thomas Koch sees that as a positive change.
Heard from a lot of people that, how many condos and apartments are we going to build? Mm-hmm. We said from day one we wanted a mix in the downtown. So to see Foxrock pivoting now for more commercial, I think is very healthy for the city. Commercial pays more in taxes. Commercial provides good-paying jobs, which helps to fill those apartments and condos, by the way, at the same time. So I'm not troubled by it at all. I think that it's, when you look back and look at the discussions and meetings, we were kind of hoping that whole, what we used to call the Ross area, now the General's Bridge area, would be commercial. So when they came in with one commercial, the hotel and residential, that's great economic development. But to have it heavily commercial on that side of the street, I think for the long-term economic health of the city is far better.
Foxrock is still proposing a 150,000 square foot commercial building, but it would include life sciences technology companies and only a small medical office. Initially, Foxrock had proposed a full medical office complex in a partnership with South Shore Hospital. The plans also call for a 490-space parking garage. The planning board will review the proposal again in February. Quincy man has been charged with breaking into the Bank of America building in Quincy Center Tuesday afternoon. Police say 31-year-old Patrick Medley broke into the bank through a shared basement, stole some personal items from employees. Medley was arrested Wednesday at the nearby barber school when an officer recognized him from the bank's surveillance video. Medley's charged with breaking and entering and larceny. He was also wanted on an outstanding warrant. Mannett Community Health Center and the Quincy Health Department are holding a free community COVID-19 vaccine clinic tomorrow from 10 to 2 at Quincy High School. All 3 approved vaccines will be available. Parental consent is required for anyone under 18. A pre-registration is also requested through Mannett's website. Walk-ins will be accommodated, if possible, after 11 a.m. And the North Quincy High School Junior ROTC program is hosting a big food drive tomorrow. Canned goods and other non-perishable foods can be dropped off at North Quincy High or at the Salvation Army on Baxter Street tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's our check of news. Coming up, we sit down with Lauren Rexford from Quincy Community Action Programs next. Welcome back. Colder weather inevitably will arrive here in New England in the wintertime, and that means costs of heating your home are going to be an issue for a lot of folks, especially this year with the rising cost of energy. The folks at Quincy Community Action Programs are once again standing at the ready to help with their energy assistance program, and the director, Lauren Rexford, is here to tell us all about it. Nice to see you, Lauren.
Nice to see you too, Joe. Thank you for having me here to talk about the Home Energy Assistance Program this year. So the program covers 4 service areas. It's Quincy, Weymouth, Braintree, and Milton. The income benefit amounts this year are up to the max of $1,030 per season.
Okay. All right. And that's an increase, right? From
That is
last
an
year?
increase from last year.
Yeah.
We do anticipate the benefit amounts going up again after the first of the year,
Oh, okay.
which is good.
What was it last year? Just curious.
That's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on
Okay.
that one.
All right.
Sorry, I apologize for blanking on that.
Anyway, it's higher,
It is higher,
which is
yes.
good because energy is higher.
Yes. So this season, QCAP received a $2.1 million grant to assist with home heating costs.
Okay.
And within that program, the home energy program covers multiple programs. So when you apply for assistance with your heat, you're filling out one application to gain access to 3 other programs that are offered through the home energy program.
Okay. That I did not know. And all those programs offered through QCAP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're all. It's like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Once you apply for the fuel assistance
Yeah.
benefits towards your heating costs, you may become you are eligible for weatherization services,
Okay.
whether you rent or own. You also, for homeowners, you are qualified for a heating system repair and replacement program,
Okay.
which we have fully licensed and insured contractors that would go out to either perform weatherization services or to replace your heating system. Should it be deemed inefficient or
Okay.
have a low efficiency read on that.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Good.
Another piece of the home energy assistance program is if you qualify for the fuel assistance portion of the program, you also qualify for a low-income discount rate, which is through the utility companies.
Okay.
And that discount rate is between 20 to 36% each off of your bill each month.
Each month. That's significant.
Yes,
So
it-
you'll get the one-time benefit plus the discount.
Yes.
If you qualify.
Yes,
Okay.
and that discount runs 12 months.
Oh.
The fuel assistance benefit, that only runs 6 months out of the year. For the cold weather months, which is November 1st through April 30th.
Okay. Okay.
And we also accept applications November 1st through April 30th. So residents should try to apply well before the April 30th deadline,
Sure.
just so they can start getting the benefits of the program sooner than later, because the program is designed to help through the winter months.
Well, that's when your
and
highest heating costs are going to be, right? It's the
Exactly.
winter months. So you obviously
Exactly.
want to pay your biggest bill with the assistance that you receive.
Exactly. It will just help defray the cost of the heat
Yeah.
heat burden that you experience during those cold winter months.
because it has to be used for that purpose, right? There is that
Ex-
restriction on it.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So if a household is determined eligible for the fuel assistance portion of the energy program, as an example, if a client applies in January, what the benefit will do is go back retroactive to November 1st
Yep.
and pay for that heating cost between that time frame.
Okay.
They'll also do that if someone applies in April, but again, we strongly encourage to access these benefits during the winter months.
Sure. Yeah. There's only a limited pool of money, right? I mean, once it's gone, it's gone.
Right, once
Yeah.
it's gone, it's gone. But we do have $2.1 million this year,
Yeah.
which there'll be plenty of money for folks to access.
Okay. That's also an increase, right, from last year?
That is an increase
Yeah.
from last year. Yes, last year it was 1.9 million.
Okay. So a couple $100,000 more.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But really, folks, to reduce their energy burden, they want to access this program now.
Yes. Okay. About how long does the process take, Lauren, once somebody applies?
Once someone applies, it takes about 25 working days,
Okay.
which can be an average of 4 to 6 weeks, to review and process their application. And what happens after that review period, we'll notify the heating vendor directly, and then that heating vendor will turn around and send us their the applicant's monthly heating bills, so that we can pay the vendor directly.
Oh, okay.
So this way the client doesn't have to worry about being the person in between.
Okay.
The money just goes directly to their heating company.
Interesting.
Whether they heat by gas, electric, oil, propane, kerosene,
Wood?
wood. Some cases in wood. We don't have many in this territory,
obviously,
but there are some houses that do heat with a secondary source as wood.
Okay, so Eversource, National Grid, the oil companies. what
Yes,
have you?
yes, we have over 100 oil vendors that participate in this
Wow.
program.
Oh, so the company has to participate in the program.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. If clients heat with oil,
Yes.
they do have to have an active oil vendor that participates in the fuel assistance program. And that would just be a simple phone call to their vendor to inquire about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if vendors don't participate in the program, they always have the option to opt into that. So clients, if they happen to call the office and we don't work with that particular vendor, we can reach out to that vendor
Oh, all
and see
right.
if they want to sign on.
Okay. Is it a cost for the vendor to participate in the program? do you
No,
know?
there's no
Okay.
cost to the vendor at
They
all.
may just not know about it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Interesting. But with 100 plus, there's a pretty good chance that your company does already participate.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
At least in this area.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
Yes, and then the same for our heating system replacement and repair program. We have several vendors that are fully licensed and contracted to go out and take a look at the heating system, make sure it's running efficiently and safely. And also for eligible households, during the summer months, we have a program called Clean, Tune, and Evaluate, and that's through the heating system program. And what they'll do is, again, we'll send out a contractor to clean out their system so that it will run efficiently for the following or the upcoming heating season.
Sure. Best time to find out if it's not working is when you don't need it.
Exactly, exactly. Especially after a long, harsh winter,
Yeah.
it's best to have it cleaned just to make sure it's running efficiently.
Sure. Okay.
As far as the weatherization program, again, fully licensed and insured contractors that will come in and put insulation in walls, weather strip attics, in doors and basements to make sure that's airtight. And once the work, whether it's heating system replacement or repair or weatherization, we have an energy auditor that works with QCAP that will go out and inspect the work to make sure it's done effectively.
Sure.
So that's a good thing to know, that there's multiple people looking at it and assessing it to make sure things are done right and
Good
properly.
to know. Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about eligibility for the energy assistance program? Who is eligible and what are the income guidelines?
Sure.
Yeah.
So for a household of 4 right now, the income eligibility is the annual household's gross income needs to be at or below $78,751.
Okay.
Now again, that's for households of 4.
Yes.
If residents have households larger than that, I encourage them to contact the office and we can give them the income guideline based on their household size.
Okay, and we're showing folks the email address, the phone number as well for them to contact specifically the fuel assistance program.
Yes,
Okay.
this year we are still closed to the public,
You are, okay.
but we do have staff in the office working on the applications, reviewing, returning phone calls, and addressing clients' needs.
Okay. All right.
New this year, Quincy Community Action opened up a resource center at 1511 Hancock Street, and that's open to the public Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.,
Okay.
where clients can come in and discuss their case, pick up an application, drop off applications, or address any other needs or concerns that they might have with a fuel assistance staff member.
Right, in person.
Right in person,
Okay.
yes.
Now, where is that in relation to QCAP's main office?
It's actually right next door to QCAP's main office on Hancock
Okay.
Street.
All right. Now, last year I recall you had a drop box.
Yes, and we still
Still have that?
We still have that for individuals that want to just drop their information off during hours where the resource center is not open.
Right. Okay.
And the drop drop-off box is available to residents between 8:30 and 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And actually, I apologize, also on Saturdays
And
as well.
Saturdays too. Okay, and it's right there in the lobby. You just have to get into the lobby, and it's a locked box. I know
It's a
quite
locked,
secure. Yep.
secure box, yes, and it's right there in the lobby.
Yep.
We do have individuals checking that daily,
Great.
Monday through Friday. For the weekend drop-offs, we check that first thing on Monday morning.
Okay, all right.
Another way for applicants to supply their documentation is Fuel Assistance has a direct email, which is fuelassistance@qcap.org. So individuals are in households are welcome to provide us information that way as
Okay.
well.
Is that new this year also, the online process?
We started that last season,
Okay.
late last season.
Can you get the application online also?
The application you cannot get online, but that's applying online is something new this season.
Oh, okay.
So if households want to go to qcap.org and select the home energy program, there'll be an option to select apply online.
Oh, all
and
right.
new applicants can apply through there, and they can also upload their documentation through this online
Oh,
service.
so you can do everything electronically if you choose.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. That's one of the great features that was added this season,
Yes.
and we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I would think a lot of folks would take advantage of that. Certainly, not still concerns about having in-person meetings, if
Yes.
you will. So to do it electronically is great. Folks who don't have access to the internet still can do it the old-fashioned way too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So for new applicants that don't have access to electronic computer or anything like that, they can call the main office at 617-657-5301. We can set up an appointment, and then a staff member will call them back and do the application right over the phone
With them.
with them.
Okay.
Yes, yes, and then they have the option to either drop off the information in the Dropbox,
Yep.
email, or visit us at our resource center.
Okay. What types of documentation does someone need to apply for energy assistance, Lauren?
So the basic documentation that applicants will need to supply will be verification of household income.
Okay.
And that's for the 30 days prior to your appointment.
Okay.
Utility bills, current utility bills, the name of your oil vendor. Let's see, if you own, we would need a copy of your mortgage statement or real estate tax bill.
Okay.
For renters, your most recent lease. Proof of citizenship, which would be either a birth certificate or social security number. Social security card. If you don't have those documents, there's other documents that we can assist clients with to provide their proof of their citizenship.
Okay. Passport, would that
Passport,
qualify?
yep.
Driver's license or no?
Not
No,
driver's
okay.
license, but a valid U.S. passport would
Suffice.
verify
Okay.
that. Yes,
All right.
yes, and for folks that don't have that, I encourage them to call the office, and we can discuss what other documentation can be used.
Okay, so it's very flexible, it sounds like. The whole goal
is.
really is to apply, right? Is there a
yes.
cost to apply for energy assistance?
No, it's
No.
free of cost.
Okay.
When an applicant in the household becomes eligible for the funding, you do not need to pay back this funding at all.
Okay, so it's an outright grant.
It's an outright grant,
Okay.
yes. Anyone up to 60% of the state median can apply.
Okay.
And if households are not sure if they meet that requirement, they should absolutely just call us. We can screen them and walk them through the process. And for some reason, if they are over that 60% of the state median, we can refer them to other resources throughout their service area that may be able to help them with their heating costs.
Okay, yeah, there are
throughout the
other
winter months.
agencies. I know Salvation Army has a program.
Yes, Salvation Army.
Interface Social Services, I believe, the Southwest Community Center. So there are options.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And some folks may not, if they're new to the heating assistance program or they find themselves for the first time needing that
Yes.
assistance, by all means they can call us and
Okay.
we can absolutely refer them to other programs
program, yeah.
throughout our service.
Now, if they've applied in the past, you have to apply every year, is that right?
Yes, so households that have applied in the past, we mail out the applications between August and September.
Oh, okay, so they already have them.
So all applications have been mailed out for this season
Okay.
if individuals applied last season.
Okay.
And if they need another application, we encourage households to call us and we'll be more than happy to mail out the application.
All right. Thank you so much, Lauren. I
Oh,
really hope
you're
we've
welcome.
encouraged folks to apply and get the help that
Yes.
they might be eligible for.
Yes, absolutely. And anyone that's not sure should always call and we'll help them figure that out.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
sure, no problem. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Looks like we're going to need the heat at least part of the weekend coming up. Today is not bad with sunshine and highs in the upper 40s, but look at tonight, down below freezing. It'll be a more seasonable weekend, certainly, than it was yesterday. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, upper 40s. Warmer on Sunday with some rain and more rain on Monday. Thanks again to Lauren Rexford for joining us from QCAP.
Thank you.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday, it's Quincy Chamber of Commerce President Tim Cahill here on the program. Have a great weekend.